So you want to get your firearm license in Victoria, but you think it might be all just a bit hard? This video is for you. Kit and I got our firearm licenses about 1 year ago, and we knew that the process was going to take some time. And yes, it does take a little bit of time, but it's not actually a hard process. And I'm going to take you through the steps very simply right now. A couple of quick things before you do attempt the paperwork trail, which is getting your firearm license. You need to be a Victorian resident, need to be at least 18 years old to be eligible for an adult license, and you need to be a fit and proper person according to the Firearms Act. There is a list of prohibited things such as having a criminal record and things like that. Step number 2 is that you need to establish a genuine reason for applying for a long arm firearm license. Now, the reason I say long arm is because I'm not even going to cover pistols in this video because we didn't even attempt to do it, and it is a much harder process. So this is only covering long arm firearms. Okay, so genuine reason that we did was sport and hunting. The reason we did the sport and hunting was because we could then be affiliated with a rifle range and they will cover you for your license. In this instance, we joined the SSAA, which is Sports Shooters Association Australia, I believe. I'm going to have to check that. Once you're in the SSAA, you have insurance covering you, and you also get affiliated with a local rifle range. So fantastic thing to do. First thing you want to do, sport and hunting is a great reason for wanting to get your firearm license. Step 3 was to join the SSAA, and that was a really simple process. You just join online, you fill out the details, you pay your membership fee, and then you can add subsequent family members for a cheaper price, and they send out your identification card in a matter of a week or something like that. You will need a SSAA or something similar license number to actually fill out the long arm firearm licensing details for the police check, okay? Keep that in mind. Next thing you want to do is a firearm safety course. Very simple, much like doing a first aid course. It's simply logical thinking and being pragmatic about safety and understanding the transportation, storage, and use of the weapons. Okay, so it's not difficult, but basically you're going to find one of these courses held at gun shops, sometimes at rifle ranges. You just basically need to look up a firearm safety course. Once you do that, you're going to receive a certificate. It's basically from the Victorian Police, and it is a firearm safety course, long arm certificate of completion. This is something that you will need to include when you're sending off your paperwork. All right, we're already at step 5, so we are trucking along here. And when I say this is a fast process, I think that we did that whole section in a matter of a week. So you just have to basically be organised, book in those appointments, that sort of thing. Next step, applying via the Victorian Police e-services. This is a portal that you need to apply, and you basically need to supply certified ID, referee statement, SSAA membership, the firearm safety course certificate, as well as any medical documentation if required, and any other supported documents that you might need. Once you have supplied all that information, you're going to need to wait for processing. Now, this process probably took around 3 to 4 weeks, and we were getting regular text message updates saying about how fast it was and when it had entered a new stage of the application process. It does depend on demand, but I do recall we did it over summer, and so we thought that with closures with Christmas and that sort of thing that it would be quite slow, but it actually was a pretty quick turnaround. Once you have received your approval, chances are you've probably gone to a gun shop and had a bit of a look around, and maybe you kind of know what you want to purchase. You will require a permit to acquire a weapon. So you can't just get your license and go buy a gun. You need to get your license, go choose a weapon, and then you need to apply for a permit to purchase. So it's usually, again, another 3 to 4 week waiting period, which you need to factor that into any of your plans. Just going back to step 5, when we did our processing, we did fill out the e-portal, but we also sent all of our documents as registered mail, which I believe was part of the process. And that obviously has a small expense to it, but it is worthwhile because the documents are pretty important. and they're all certified, and then they're protected and secure. Something you need to factor into your plan is where you're going to store your weapons. You are required by law to purchase a firearm safe. Okay, so this is a lockable safe. It is secured to the floor of the property, and it contains a separate ammunition tray as well as the gun storage tray. The keys are to be kept separate from the item, i.e. not in the lockable, not in the keyhole. Our house did not have very many options, so this is why it's in our room and it's decorated. But it's just part of the safety and very important storage of your weapons. Something else we factored in was when we actually visit the rifle range. So there's a video on us going to the range for the first day, and we were quite nervous, understandably. There's a lot of rules, understandably. You can check that video out here, but when we transported the weapons out on the way, it was a 40-minute drive to the range, we had the rifles separate in the back seat of the car in their gun carrying bags. That's all fine. Ammunition was in a lockbox in the front of the car, which I know seems very cautious. However, we just wanted to follow the rules because all of this work we go through and the time we committed to the paperwork and getting these gun licenses, and on the off chance we got pulled over and then we suddenly just lost them. So what a pain, right? So just tick the boxes, do the right thing, and you won't have a problem. So hopefully this video helps you feel a little bit more confident about going through the journey of getting your long arm firearm license. I don't know if there's much difference state to state, but this does just cover our experience in Victoria. If you have any questions, definitely pop them in the comments. And if you like what we're doing here at Our Rule Reset, definitely subscribe. We are new to this whole YouTube thing, but we're having a great time documenting our journey. So if you're here for the ride, thank you so much.